Hello, friends. Welcome to our channel, History Chronicles. In the tumultuous summer of 1789, as the flames of revolution spread across France, a dramatic and poignant chapter unfolded: the Women's March on Versailles. This episode not only highlights a crucial event, but also sheds light on the profound role women played in the revolution. Imagine the scene in Paris, October 5th, 1789. The city is restless. The economic crisis has reached a boiling point, and the price of bread has soared to unbearable levels. The streets are crowded with people struggling to feed their families, their frustration and desperation palpable. The common folk, especially the women who bear the brunt of poverty and hunger, are increasingly vocal about their grievances. Among them is a woman named Marie, a market vendor who has seen the price of bread rise from a few sous to an exorbitant sum. Each morning, she wakes before dawn to buy bread, only to find that her meager earnings can no longer stretch far enough. Her children are hungry, and her patience is wearing thin. Marie is not alone in her plight. Many women in Paris share her struggle. On this particular day, a spark ignites the simmering anger of these women. A rumor spreads that the king and queen, living in opulence at the Palace of Versailles, are indifferent to their suffering. The royal court is seen as a symbol of excess and detachment, a stark contrast to the harsh realities faced by the common people. Fueled by a mix of anger and desperation, a group of women decides to take action. Marie and hundreds of other women, armed with improvised weapons and driven by a sense of urgency, march toward Versailles. Their destination is not merely a protest, but a bold statement. They march through the streets of Paris, their voices rising in a chorus of demands for bread and justice. Their march is a demonstration of their resolve to be heard and to seek relief from their dire situation. The journey to Versailles is arduous. The women, despite their exhaustion and the threatening weather, press on. Their determination is unwavering. As they approach the opulent palace, the contrast between their ragged, weary appearance and the grandeur of Versailles is striking. The palace, with its golden facades and manicured gardens, seems to mock their suffering. Upon arriving at Versailles, the women's anger turns into a powerful collective voice. They storm the palace gates, demanding an audience with the king and queen. Their message is clear: the people of Paris are suffering, and it is time for the royal family to address their needs. The palace, once a symbol of unapproachable royalty, is now the focal point of a determined and resolute crowd. The scene inside the palace is tense. The royal family, shocked and disoriented by the sudden intrusion, faces the full force of the women's frustration. The queen, Marie Antoinette, is particularly targeted, with many of the women blaming her for their plight. The demands are straightforward: lower the price of bread and provide relief to those who are suffering. The march proves to be a pivotal moment. The sheer force and determination of the women cannot be ignored. Their actions force the royal family to make a critical decision. In an effort to quell the unrest and to acknowledge the gravity of the situation, Louis XVI agrees to meet the women's demands. He promises to provide bread and to make reforms that will alleviate some of the suffering. The resolution of the march, however, is far from the end of the struggle. The women, having achieved a partial victory, return to Paris with a mix of relief and continued determination. Their actions have not only secured immediate relief, but have also sent a clear message: the people are no longer willing to tolerate injustice and inequality. The Women's March on Versailles is a testament to the power of collective action. It underscores the role of women as active participants in the revolutionary movement, challenging the status quo and demanding change. Their march symbolizes a turning point, showing that the struggle for justice and equality is not confined to any single group, but is a shared endeavor across society. In our next episode, we will explore how France transformed from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional one in 1791, examining the challenges and changes that accompanied this significant shift. Thank you for joining us in this episode of History Chronicles. Stay tuned for the next chapter in our exploration of the French Revolution. See you next time.